y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamika and this is Check the Rhymes. I am super excited that you're here. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all, I have an exciting show planned for you, but first I need you to hit the subscribe button, then tap the bell icon in case you want to be notified when I post a video. Check me out at sweet929.tv and on Zonify under the Expression tab. So last year, I spoke with New York Times bestselling author Tiffany D Jackson about her novel Grown, which was inspired by the R. Kelly case. So make sure you check that interview out if you have not already. But today we are going to be talking about her anticipated follow-up novel, White Smoke. It's a contemporary spin on the classic haunted house story. Y'all, this book right here is scary, but it's scary. Like, you cannot help but, you know, you're scared, but you want to turn the page to see what happens next. So anyway, we're going to talk to her about White Smoke and more. Stay tuned. You definitely don't want to miss today's show. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome to Check the Rhymes.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. You trying to scare the bejesus out of somebody with this White Smoke book. You gotta tell me all about it. Tell my listeners about the book. I've told them it is a classic. It's a spin on a classic haunted house type of story. So, you know, since you're the author, you tell them in your own words what the book is about.
Okay, so White Smoke is, definitely my, take on a haunted house story. I call it Get Out meets The Haunting of Hill House. It's about a girl named Mari who moves to a new city with her newly blended family into a renovated home that seems to be on a very abandoned block. It's surrounded by, abandoned homes, dilapidated city, and she feels that the home might be haunted, but it may be something far sinister than that, especially in a city that is full of secrets.
Yeah, wow. It's, I had chills reading it. Yeah, I had to read it with the lights on, though, because I'm a scaredy cat. So what was the inspiration behind White Smoke? What inspired you to write it?
It was sort of twofold. If you've read any of my other work, most of them are loosely inspired by real cases. This is no different. There was a real case of a haunting that happened in Japan that was very similar to what I put in White Smoke. But also it was inspired by a trip I took about 2 years ago to Detroit. Actually 3 years ago. I still feel like it's 2020.
Me too.
I took this trip to Detroit, and, as a New Yorker, like, there is zero space in New York. We're all, like, literally sitting on top of each other. But in Detroit, I found that there were all these blocks full of homes that had been abandoned. And particularly during the recession. And I was just incredibly stunned by the sight. And so when I started talking to, the people of the city and just learning about, how everything went down, it just seemed incredibly sinister. So I wanted to kind of combine both stories into this one book, and sort of touch upon about, like, sort of the evils that are sort of within, and how a lot of times it's very multi-layered.
Yeah, exactly. Well, have you yourself experienced any, like, haunting, like, incidents or experiences or...
Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh, tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. Typically, when I visit, like, different cities that I've never been to before, I try to take at least one ghost tour in every city, because you usually find out, like, the real deal about that city. And I went on a ghost tour in Savannah, which happens to be one of the most haunted cities in the United States, and actually saw and felt my first ghost on the tour. And it was so creepy because you kind of feel like you could feel them around, and my stomach was hurting. Girl, I thought it was gas. And later on, it was like, no, that was actually a whole spirit. So it was really, it was incredibly creepy. It's called the Blue Orb Tour, if anyone wants to go on that. They've definitely experienced, a lot of people experience hauntings on that tour.
Wow. I've never heard... Well, I don't think I know anybody that's been on that tour, but that's incredible, like, and scary at the same time. So I love the cover of the book, White Smoke. Tell me how you guys came up with the cover for this.
So it was basically kind of like a joint, work. The cover designer, his name is Jeff Manning. He's on Instagram. He's a beautiful designer, and he really kind of came up with all these mocks. I just basically said, I'm looking for something that has depth and darkness, and of course smoke and creepy writing. And of course, I love the colors, like a dark purple and pink, because you wouldn't really expect that with
right.
A scary novel. So it sort of takes a little spin on it, and the cover model is just perfect. I love her hair, that jawbone, it's just amazing. And then of course, they left enough room to put this amazing quote by R.L. Stine, who I loved all of his books when I was younger. So it's an amazing cover.
I even like how White Smoke is, the way it's written, almost like maybe I'm reaching, but like a ghost wrote it on a window or something, or mirror. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's not reach at all. No, that's really dope. It's it's just something creepy about the letters that I love.
Yeah, I just love the cover. So did you have any lessons that you learned while writing the book, or lessons that kind of that you took from writing other books that you brought into this book?
So I guess the biggest lesson for me was, particularly like I mentioned, when I was researching about Detroit and the abandoned homes, I just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper down a rabbit hole of trying to understand how something like this could potentially happen. And so I'm hoping that the lesson that I sort of instill in this is that everything is multi-layer. Everything is very strategic. There's not one reason someone is doing something that's not going to affect something else. Everything is very much a game of chess. And you learn how to play the game, you can potentially defeat the game as well too. So that's sort of the lesson that I always kind of knew, but really tried to instill in this book as well too.
Is that what you hope that your readers take away from it as well?
Oh yeah. I mean, of course, this is very much still a classic haunted house story with a spin on it. But there's also, that we talk about gentrification. We talk about the prison industry complex. We talk about just blended families and how the way they work and how, love can really truly overcome a lot of things. And though it's still a scary story, there's still some depth and meat to it.
So I have to ask, because in my head I was like, she must have been listening to Thriller while writing this. But what kind of music do you listen to in writing a novel like this?
I usually the funny thing is I can't listen to my regular music while I write, because lines will just sort of imagine me listening to my Ratchet hit list, and lines just tend to just flow right into the books. So I typically try to listen to classical music, which kind of keeps me calm and mellows me out. But when I'm editing, I will turn on, whatever is the best thing for me to just kind of get me going, especially some Afrobeat music or some dancehall or some reggae. I listen to everything, so it's hard to kind of say. Right now I'm listening to the Drake album, of course, but it's because I also love Drake. He's just a messy Scorpio.
Right. He definitely is. That's hilarious. So for the most important question, because I feel like this is a book that people can also read around Halloween too. Are you a candy corn fan?
No, absolutely not.
Oh no, Tiffany.
I rebuke that.
Okay, well we'll still support you anyway. So, and I want to congratulate you on the news from I think it was a month or so ago, when it was announced that the Obamas are developing Blackout, and you contributed to that book. Is there any updates on that?
No updates yet. We're still sort of waiting. That's one of the things about being an author. You're sort of just kind of on the outskirts, but they let you in eventually. But I'm so thrilled. It's going to be a movie, and then there's going to be a TV show following it. This has never been done on Netflix before, and the Obamas are a part of it. And this is the ultimate Black love couple doing a book about Black love. Just completely warms my heart. So I'm just whatever you guys want me to do, I'll be there.
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, thank you so much, Tiffany, for joining me today. Everybody go get White Smoke. It's in stores right now. And of course, we'll be on the lookout to hear when there's more news with Blackout. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Thank you.